Ahoy there, I'm Tiny Pirate and welcome to a video on Satisfactory. Today, Jim Balls, the community manager for Satisfactory and for Coffee Stain Games, released a great Q&A video about the game. It's very interesting. I'm going to talk about it towards the end of this video, but first of all, I want to share with you the answers to some exclusive questions, or the exclusive answers to some average questions? I don't know. I asked Jim Balls some questions and he gave me some answers, and I'd like to share with you some more facts about Satisfactory that haven't been released yet. So first of all, I went through the trailer and I had some more questions for Jim Balls. I didn't get the answers to everything, not all the answers that I would like, but I did get some, and that's great, and I'm going to share them with you now. First question I asked was about the water you can see in the trailer. I asked if you can use it for anything, and Jim says not really. There isn't really a current use for that, which is, I suppose, just fine. I also asked about what seemed to be players in the trailer discovering something, and I asked if there are artifacts and discoveries that we can make as we explore, and he said yes. So that is interesting. Perhaps that points to some kind of tech unlocking or rare item discovery. That could add some really interesting replayability. If some techs are discovered and some techs aren't in a game, that could make things very different each time you play. So I'm hoping they're thinking about something like that. I asked about how many creatures there are in the game, and the trailer shows 7 creatures from Jim Balls' memory, but there are plenty he didn't show. And I think some are going to be passive and some are going to be aggressive. So that's going to be quite fun for us to go and explore. I asked about the glowy stick thing the player is holding at one point, and he revealed that that is a beacon. He wouldn't elaborate, so it's going to be up to us to speculate as to what it's for. I imagine it's going to be for marking locations on the map, perhaps to indicate where vehicles should travel or routes they should follow, or perhaps it's merely just to show buddies where things are, light areas up. Not really sure. Your thoughts in the comments below. I also asked about the jump pad that you can see in the trailer and I spotted in my analysis. He says that you land where you land when I asked him whether or not it leads to particular locations, if you can link them up in any particular way. But I guess what you would do is place down a jump pad, jump on it, see where you land, and perhaps place another jump pad nearby so you can bounce your way all around your base. That sounds pretty fun. He also said it leads to other possibilities. I'm not sure what those could be. Perhaps that'll be a good way to get up to raised platforms where you can watch your base or study it with your buddies to figure out where you're going to expand. I could see that being a really fun mechanic to mess with. I asked about piloting the trains, and Jim Balls confirmed that yes, you will be able to pilot them, and I think that's going to be part of how we plot the route for the trains. As he's mentioned with the big trucks and the other vehicles, it'll do logistics deliveries for us. The big trains will be piloted so we can plot out the routes, which is good to know. I asked about the names of the vehicles. Currently, obviously, this is the train. There are also trucks, tractors, explorers, and the drones are currently no comment. All questions about them were repulsed, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm sure we'll find out more soon. I asked about the roles that the vehicles will fulfill, and he said transportation and exploration. So that is what we would kind of expect, I imagine, but good to have that one confirmed too. I also asked about the weird bottle-y thing that you see in the trailer. Jim Balls has absolutely no idea what it is, so maybe we'll get back to that one day. I checked in to ask what else you can build in addition to the factories and belts and what have you, and Jim Balls confirmed that you can build walls. I imagine that is mostly to secure the base from enemies coming to get you, because Jim Balls has confirmed that enemies will not be attacking your base itself, they'll be going for the players. So walls will help secure the base from enemy creature incursion. Those are all the answers to my questions that I have at present, but I think it'd be good to also have a little bit of a chat about the answers that Jim Balls released in his Q&A video. He talked first of all about mod support and how they currently don't have any formal support for mods. They found that when they were working on this, it was taking a lot of time, and they didn't want to use all that time working on mod support when they should be using it on completing the game. It did sound like the game was capable of supporting mods, but just that there weren't any particularly formal structures in there to support modding. That to me makes sense. I imagine what that answer is actually kind of revealing is that the developers want to wait and see how well the game does. If the game does well, then we can expect DLC, we can expect maps, we can expect deeper mod support in the future. If the game does poorly, then they're not going to do that, which I can't blame them for at all. The good news is there are no plans for microtransactions or loot boxes. I wouldn't really see how that would fit in a game like this anyway, but that is good to hear. So really, we need to make sure the launch goes very, very well. A lot of other questions have been answered in other formats. Questions like when will alpha be? That's currently unknown. Will there be Lizard Doggo plushies? Because the Lizard Doggo is cute. And he hopes it will be and demands that you all nag Coffee Stain if you want one. Maybe that will push along the development of that as a cool toy. The final interesting question that was answered was about multiplayer. Gem Balls revealed that up to 4 players, as we previously have heard, is going to be just fine. But it's not a hard limit. You'll have the freedom to keep adding players if you wish, and that will be interesting. We'll see what your game does with a bunch of players. Who knows how the server will respond, especially early on in development, but that's going to be fun to see tested out, I reckon. And that's all the new information about Satisfactory around at present. I'm going to be talking to Gem Balls again in the future, asking him more questions. If you have some questions you'd like me to ask him, then write them up in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do about getting them answered. They are being a little careful and cagey with information at present, which is very understandable for a game at this point in development. I'm sure we'll see a lot more interesting and fun stuff come out of the developers in the very near future. If you like Satisfactory, then do stick around. I'll be covering it extensively in the future, giving you cool updates and inside information as I can get it, and of course continuing to play other interesting builder games on the channel. Until next time, I've been Tiny Pirate. Thanks for watching. Good night.